Okay, coming to marriage and spouses, one of the other things that people are really afraid of is this word Manglik. Because when in India we have arranged marriages, we look at kundlis, we do all of that. And somehow when it comes to shadis, that word Manglik is like one looming fear. What is being Manglik, and is it something that we should be scared of?
Again, it's nothing to be scared of. So let's understand Mangal or Mars. It's a planet which is based on Agni Tattva or the fire element. Now in our body, what do we use fire for? Can you guess?
Digestion.
Yeah, digestion is one. Sexual relationships, temperament, overall energy. You know, when you're feeling really low some days, you're low on energy, that fire element is dipping down. So, which means it's constantly affecting your well-being as a person and impacting who you are. Because your temperament and sexual relationships are a huge part of a relationship and marriage.
Correct.
So, if you have Mars in certain placements in a birth chart, the impact of that element is way higher than the rest. Which means you have more energy, you may be more adamant, you're going to be great with certain things because you're fiery in nature. But that also means you have the ability to fight to another level. You'll make a great lawyer, but you may not make a good spouse then. So if your level of fire in the body, and also means your ability of sexual relationships is also higher than the rest. Your appetite for sex is larger than the rest. So the other person has to match it, right? So if you have Mars flowing on a certain level and the other person doesn't match it, then you'll have lack of compatibility in temperament as well as sexual relationships, which is a very important part of marriage. So it's then advised that when two people get married, the level of energy flowing through them, the Agni Tattva or the Mars element should be evened. So then we say a Manglik should marry a Manglik. There is logic in it, yes, and it works. But what happens if you fall in love with someone who's not a Manglik? In time, you will have those incompatibility issues. You will have to work through them. Are you going to die because of it? Likely not. Some very rare cases that can happen, very rare. Not going to happen easily. But yes, you will have to work through matching your partner's energy, whether it's too low or too high, because naturally it's not going to happen. Usually Mangliks are attracted to Mangliks only, and both of them have those toxic fights, they have crazy sexual chemistry, then you know Mars is working for them.
And again, they have to come to an astrologer and show a chart to understand. Yeah.
No, I think if it's working well for them, then that's how they like it. It's okay.
But what is this whole, like, if you're getting married to a Manglik, get them married to a tree, a
yeah.
cow,
Okay, so
all
I'll
these
explain that as well.
superstitions?
So in certain positions in a chart, Mars is placed in such a way that you will have at least one major breakup.
Oh.
You have to go through the pain and hurt of a breakup. You have to go, that's your karmic journey. You've given it to someone, you've really hurt someone in the past. So in this life, you have to go through that trauma and the pain of a broken relationship.
Like even abusive relationships?
Yes,
Domestic,
possible.
yeah.
Possible. So what is easier, a breakup or a divorce?
A breakup, I think.
So then we advise such people, don't get married right now. Or then there's a ritual where you have a full wedding with a plant or something. The entire ritual is done. So you go through that process of being married and then you let that go. So that one marriage is over. You've done the karma of being married.
Yeah.
So likely you will still have a breakup, but maybe you will not have a divorce. I think a very popular story of Manglik Vivah was Aishwarya Rai, where she had performed the Manglik rituals. And I don't think they're getting divorced because she has done her work.
But why is there so much shame around the word Manglik? You know, every time I've heard the word.
They treat it like a
That's just superstition and it's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
So there's no reason
They
to
should
think
change
that.
the way to
It's
look
more
at it.
about Manglik Dosh or Mangal or Manglik Patrika is more about finding the right compatibility and sticking to that. It's like a tool to say, are you compatible or not? But there doesn't need to be any sort of stigma around it. I think that comes from the past where a lot of times if the Mangal Dosh was really severe, sometimes the girl would lose her spouse. And in the olden days, then they would have that stigma that, okay, she's going to go. And also the concept of divorce didn't exist back then. So when you saw a girl's chart with no social support of a divorced woman and no social standing of a divorced woman in identity, and you saw that she's going to have a breakup, how do you understand? Because in that zamana there was no breakups, there was only marriages or they were not working. So then you knew that your daughter is going to go through a broken marriage. How do you deal with that? So I think that got fear, that got stigma, but in today's world I don't think one needs to be worried.